It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, welcome everyone to the Hazleton Mayor's Report. Yes, the Hazleton Mayor's Report. You know, we do the Pottsville Report with Mayor Clues every month, and now Mayor Jeff Cusat will be joining the Mayor's Report every month, finding out what's going on in the great city of Hazleton. And this is a great opportunity for not only Hazleton, but the surrounding areas and know what's going on in town. Talk about transparency. Well, if you recall, when the mayor was on my show, he had two specials. And those two specials were loaded with so much information that we felt it'd be good to do a monthly Mayor's Report. And the report will be brought to you by the Hazleton Public Transit, and wait till you find out, hear about them. Before we talk about the Hazleton Public Transit, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You certainly made a great, impressive win among good challengers. I mean, people that were, meant well for the city. What do you attribute that to, Jeff?
The progress of the city. We've come a long way in 8 years. There's a lot of projects that have started, and people want to see them finished. We have touched on almost every park and playground in the city. The paving the streets, the crime rates are down. It's just becoming a better community overall, and I think people want to see that continue.
One of the areas that the show is being sponsored by is the Hazleton Public Transit. When Joe Zeller was telling me the number of places and things that the transit department does, it's impressive. Expand on that for us.
Our public transit reaches all the way down to the south, Carbon County, Schuylkill County, all the way up to Wilkes-Barre. We have routes that go out to Penn State College, the Laurel Mall. But a lot of people don't realize that our routes are flagged down. If you just stand on the side of the road along one of the routes, you just wave your hand and the bus will stop. And we go up to Wilkes-Barre Public Square, we go up to the Wilkes-Barre Mall, over to the Mohegan Sun, out to Humboldt. We make stops at several of the factories out there. So the public transit has a vast network of areas that it goes to.
So you're telling me that if, some people like to go to Mohegan Sun, some seniors like to enjoy themselves in the afternoon. Is there where could they find a schedule where they would, take?
The schedules are available at City Hall, at the transit station on Church Street. I believe they may be at the Laurel Mall. There's other locations throughout the city where they are located. Or you can just call down there, and I believe they're actually online too, the actual routes.
Talking about the transit, there's a lot of developments in the buildings, etc. Let's just talk about that as well.
We are building a maintenance facility up by the airport that will house all of our buses. I believe we have 16 full-size buses, several vans, so they will all be housed and maintained at that facility. It was about $32 million project that was funded by federal and state money, and upon completion of the project, that building will then be turned over to the city.
All right. In terms of when we were talking, when you were on the show before the election, there were many things happening in the city of Hazleton. Okay, what's new in fire prevention?
Well, this is Fire Prevention Month, and we want to remind people that to clean your furnace, make sure your furnace is clean, and then also be aware of extension cords. At this time of the year, people start using extension cords for portable heaters. They overload them with the Christmas lights. Make sure that you utilize the proper extension cord when using equipment.
And also, I'm sure the fire department could give them additional.
Yeah, if there's any questions, please call the fire department. We'd rather field the phone call than field the emergency call.
Yeah. Well, of course, I hate to even use the word snow, other than Christmas Eve. I like snow Christmas Eve, other than that. But anyway, we have snow bans.
Yeah, we do have the snow bans, which is the parking regulations. This year, do not park where you see a blue or yellow sign, during a snowstorm. After the snow is cleared and you're able to park within 12 inches of the curb again, you could then go back to it. But during an active storm, please move your car in enough time that we can, clean the streets in a timely manner.
What's the blue and yellow mean?
Years ago, we used to put paper signs on telephone poles, and we'd spend hours a year doing it, putting them up, taking them down. So we came up with a color system. So on the even years, there's one color sign. On the odd years, there's another color sign. So then you just flip-flop. So the signs stay up permanently, and that way we save money on having to change them. So this year, you cannot park on a blue sign, and then next year, you can't park on a red sign.
Oh, so they're up already.
Yes, and then the yellow ones are always no parking.
So blue is every other year.
Yep. So
And yellow.
no parking on blue.
Okay. Now, all right, so how soon after the snow is coming down, and how do I know if it's not going to be an inch or half an inch, et cetera? What should I do?
If the snow is going to be plowable, or if there's an ice storm and we have to get the salt trucks out, just please, if you don't know, try to move your car. Make it easier for us to get through, because the faster we get through, the faster we can get the streets cleaned. And then usually about 24 hours after the snow stops, and you could park your vehicle within 12 inches of the curb, then you can go back. If there's enough snow on the side that your car's out in the street, don't park there until it's clear that you can park legally within 12 inches of the curb.
Okay, so do you give them warning first before they get a fine, or how does that work?
It all depends on how the season starts. If it's a big snowstorm right off the bat, then there is no time for a warning. But most of the storms, if they're big enough, that you get fair warning from your weather channels. And we do reach out. So there is information available. If anybody would like to know about not only emergencies, but other things that are going on in the city, events coming up, we have an app on your phone called Code Red, which anybody could sign up by texting the word Hazleton Info, one word, no space, Hazleton Info, to the number 99411. Then it'll send you a link back and you sign up. And then you will get a phone call, a text message, and an email sent to your phone for...
Wow. What is that again?
It's Hazleton Info,
right?
No space, to the number 99411.
99411.
Yes.
And that's it.
And then they'll send you a link back, and you go on, put your name, address, and then it also breaks your down if you put the proper address in. So if there's an emergency in your section of town that doesn't affect the other section of towns, we'll just send a message out to your section. Wow. If there's a busted pipe, don't drink the water. So we can narrow it down that to that area of the city. So it's important that you sign up and update your information if you do move.
Hazleton Info 99411.
Correct.
Okay, I think that's extremely important that you get as much information as possible.
Yes,
there.
it's and we also put it up on social media. Facebook is.
The police also have an app, right, for getting information from the police department.
They utilize, I believe, they utilize our system when it's an emergency. Also.
They do. Okay.
Yes.
Activities that are happening in town. All right. So let's talk about.
So first, for any activities, we're also launching a website. And we're all working in conjunction with the Downtown Alliance, the Can Do. We are starting to brand the city, working together and brand the city. So there's a HazletonForTheHolidays.com. Now it's coming out now for Christmas, and it'll be utilized probably more for Christmas than anything. But if you go to the website, it will prompt you to all the events that are going on in the city. Which, Christmas time, December is our biggest month for events, and we're going to talk about a lot of them now.
It's amazing, when you're talking about. Let's talk about some of those activities that are happening in the city, because there's a lot of things happening in the city. Let's talk about December 1st.
So December 1st, it starts off with the Can Do Christmas tree lighting at the Can Do Community Park on the corner of Broad and Laurel, and then it goes into the First Friday Wassail Fest. So the two big events downtown. On the first Friday, December 1st. December 6th, we're going to have the City Hall tree lighting ceremony in conjunction with the Can Do Community Christmas event at the church next door. So again, we're all going to get together. There'll be vendors here handing out free stuff. Again, we're all trying to come together and work together. So it is the City of Hazleton, Can Do, the Chamber, the library, Downtown Alliance and Can Do, just working so well together lately.
Where are you getting the tree this year?
I believe Frank Vito and his family sponsor the tree every year. They were also going to have the Santa Claus parades. They've been a huge success. We started them during COVID, and we started by doing one parade through the city. Then we expanded. Last year we did three-hour parades through the city, and then they ended at Memorial Park with Santa Claus sitting by the tree there for pictures. So if you can't get out to the malls or somewhere else, or you can't afford a picture, Santa Claus will sit there. You come take your own picture free. And that's going to happen on the Sundays.
Where?
Each Sunday. So different areas of the city. December 3rd, December 10th, and December 17th. We'll announce the routes, but we usually split the city into 3 areas, and we'll go through the city. Takes about 3 hours, and then we'll go back to Memorial Park on the corner of Church and Diamond Avenue, and you'll see the new Christmas tree, the permanent tree we put there. And there'll be huts set up for the little market, the Christmas market fair. So there'll be huts there, and people are welcome to come and sell their goods and the vendor events. And then on December 17th, to go along with that, Unico is also having a live nativity. So throughout the day, they're going to have their event with vendors, the live nativity, and then Santa Claus will come again take pictures.
Is that all that's going on? Folks.
One other thing is the police department just informed me that they're going to have a free community dinner at the Hazleton Lunchbox on West Broad Street. I think it's 13 West Broad Street on December 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
It's like dinner with a cop. So they just informed me of that. And then we'll finish off the year with the New Year's Eve fireworks. And they're sponsored by the D'Angelo Pest Control, Dermadex, and the Partner Rentals.
There's so many things happening in the cities. We're here at the mayor's office in Hazleton, Mayor Jeff Cusat, talking about what's happening in the area. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about specific departments and the decorations, et cetera, et cetera. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Once again, thank you for making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. 56,000 viewers from Monday through Sunday. I appreciate that. That's taken from the Susquehanna Polling and Research scientific poll. I appreciate that very much. Where am I? Well, I'm here at City Hall in Hazleton. We are now starting the Hazleton Mayor's Report. I'm here with Mayor Jeff Cusat, just won the re-election, talking about a lot of things. Now, Jeff, before we do this, my friends, get a pencil and paper or a pen or whatever. I'm going to give you some information, some really good information about the Hazleton Public Transit. They're the main supporters of the show here. I did not realize... I'm glad we have these shows. I had no idea of all the things that you guys have got going for you. This is unbelievable.
There's a lot more going on than people realize.
Yeah. I mean, so, when they talk about transparency, my God, everything is here. You can see everything that you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So I ask you to get a paper and pen. And, of course, the show is on YouTube. It's seen a zillion times. For the transit going to the Mohegan Sun, all right, it's Monday through Saturday. And it's they leave at 9:45 in the morning, 12 o'clock, and 2:25. So if you want to go in the morning at 9:45, you can do whatever you have, win a lot of money, and then come back at on the 2 o'clock transit. Also, here's an app or website you should go to. RIDE, Ride HPT, Hazleton Public Transit, ridehpd.com. Write this phone number down as well. 570-459-5414, and that'll give you more information. Or go to mystop, mystop.mobile, mobile. I just think this is great, And they have an app that you could pay on the app, right?
It's a touch system with you use your phone, your credit card, so it's touchless. You don't have to buy a ticket up front anymore. It's you walk on the bus, you tap it,
and there you go. Jeff, there's been a lot, a lot of things happening in the county, okay? And I know you work with the county and other officials. Some of the things that we're looking at, they say, the lower Luzerne is always the
Southern Luzerne.
I'm sorry, Southern Luzerne is always the place that we don't get that many things. But you've been able to activate some departments coming here, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to take place here at City Hall?
We've been fighting hard to get equal representation down here in the South. Right now, last night at the county council meeting, they did approve a lease to move all the county offices into City Hall. So hopefully by January, all the row offices will be here. The solicitor will be here, the county manager, on a weekly basis. I believe they're looking to spend 2 days a week in Hazleton to service the people of the Hazleton area, not just Hazleton, but the whole Hazleton area. So it'd be huge for people that they don't have to drive 45 minutes, each way to go to the courthouse, to get their license, to get their gun permit. So all that stuff will be happening right here at City Hall.
How many departments are coming down?
I believe there's 12.
12 departments.
Correct.
Okay, so that saves a lot of time of people, and not only for Hazleton, but also the surrounding areas as well.
Yes, yeah, you'll be able to pay your county taxes here, you'll get your gun permits, get your license, marriage license, file paperwork for the lawyers, instead of having to go up there. So there's a lot to be said about the county coming back and having a presence here in Hazleton.
Okay, so we're moving the police department, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so how is that coming along?
The detectives are currently in the new building. We're doing a little bit of touch-up work and moving the patrol. The patrol should be moved into the building by mid-December, and then we'll be up and have that building up and running. So right now, if there's an emergency, you still come to City Hall. We don't want to confuse anybody. Only the detectives are at the new building. But it's coming along, nicely. So they'll be moving out. The parking tickets and towing will be moved. And if you want to buy a business sign or any kind of thing, anything to do with parking, will now be handled by the parking department. But they'll be in the transit building on Mine Street, 126 Mine Street, in the transit building. So to free up, make it easier, they'll be moving down there.
So this will be open then for parking?
Yes, so there'll be more parking open up. Once the police department moves, it opens up about 30 parking spaces on a daily basis.
Does the city generate any revenue from this move?
Yes, the county will be paying us approximately $80,000 per year.
Wow.
To utilize City Hall.
So that's a found money that you never had.
Correct.
All right. In terms of the department, are we in the city police department? Where are we at with that?
Right now, the city is at 48 officers, and we have 3 cadets in school. So, technically, we have 51 upon graduation, and then we're doing another recruiting now, testing going on, to keep trying to build the force to levels that we'd like to see.
What levels would that be?
We would like to see 64.
Wow.
And it's unrealistic in the next couple of years, but 4 years from now, we would like to see 64 officers.
Do you attribute that increase in the police department to the fact that, thank God, crime is coming down? We still have it, but it's coming down.
I believe that officers want to be here now. Several years ago, Hazleton was looked down upon as a police department. We were using old cars, crammed into City Hall. It wasn't a very good work environment. Utilizing equipment that wasn't up to standards. And right now we have some of the best equipment in the state. Safety-wise, we just bought the Bearcat, an armored rescue vehicle. We have drones. We have in-car computers. We have the training with the CERT team. In the new building, it makes people want to come, excited to come here. And it's a great recruiting tool also.
The system we talked about on the show about, what was it?
The flock camera system.
Yeah. Explain that again.
The flock camera system is a camera system that reads license plates. It's not a video camera that it videotapes you. It catches your license plate as you drive by. And the police departments can enter into the system anybody they're looking for. Any stolen vehicles, an Amber Alert, anybody that has an outstanding warrant. they're all entered into the system, and once that car passes one of the cameras, an alert is sent to all the police officers on duty, and we're aware that that vehicle is in the city or exiting the city. And we have a ring around the entire city. Then we have several cameras inside the city. So there's not one way in or out of the city without your license plate being read. So that's another, we used it yesterday. We got a stolen vehicle yesterday. But then we also put in the Raven camera system for gunshot system, which if a gunshot goes off anywhere in the city, anywhere in the vicinity of one of those speakers, canisters, they're like a little can, that a message is sent to the camera system, and it starts taking pictures, and the sounds are recorded, and again, it notifies the police officers via phone faster than somebody calling 911 and guessing where it is. So it triangulates the gunshot. Or, sometimes they're false. It could be cars backfiring, but it records them, and then you could interpret whether or not it's a gunshot or firework.
Moving on to the election, okay? You certainly made history in terms of the victory you won. And again, you had some great opponents. I mean, they were quality opponents. But what do you attribute your massive win to?
I just believe that people believe in the direction that the city's going. And my departments have done great things. City Council has done great things. We're moving the city forward. We financially stable. So I just think people believe in the city again.
And as far as transparency, I mean, in addition to having a show like this, there's always opportunities for people knowing what's happening, right?
Everything is out there. Between all the websites we have, with the right to know process, you can get any information you want. Nothing's being hidden.
Yeah.
It's all out there. Just a matter of knowing where to look for it and what questions to ask. It's hard, especially in our form of government. People don't understand what our form of government is, where it came from, and why we use it. So
I totally agree with you.
One of our next shows, we could actually talk about the Government Study Commission in 1985, when the citizens wanted a new form of government, and they chose this form of government via a ballot vote.
And how successful it's been.
Yes, so we could talk about that in more detail.
Now, I want to introduce something into this program. It's called Ask the Mayor. Please, if you have any questions, email me, sam@ssptv.com. Ask the mayor any question you'd like to ask him, and we'll bring it up at the next show. So you may have questions. Mayor Cusat is really busy, but finds the time to respond. You wouldn't mind if we have that Ask the Mayor segment, right?
No, that's a question.
We do it with Law Talk with Attorney Falvello, Alexi Falvello, and it's amazing how many people send in questions for that. So Ask the Mayor. What are you hoping for in the next couple months as mayor?
To finish the progress. Like I said, we've been working on the parks and playgrounds, the streets, and we have a massive street repaving program going on, and we're trying to get all the main arteries repaved, and then try to set up a 20-year plan for the future of where you need to go. And it's not just guessing, let's do one block here, one block here. So we're trying to put us in a position to succeed in the future. Just trying to make it a better community for everybody.
Well, it seems that people like the direction you're going into. So we wish you the best. I'm looking forward to having these monthly meetings, because when you come on the Sam Lesante Show again up in the studio, we don't have to have a 2-hour session, okay? Folks, I'm here at Hazleton City Hall. The Mayor's Report, the Hazleton Mayor's Report. We do the Mayor Pottsville Report, Mayor Clues every month in Pottsville, and it's a lot of great information you're getting. Remember, Ask the Mayor, email me, sam@ssptv.com. Thank you very much for making our show the #1 show in Northeastern Pennsylvania. We'll see you next time.